Hey, it's Garrett. In this video, I have a special conversation with my friend Brian. I've never met Brian until this conversation. So, Brian, or Philly Dad on the Run on Instagram, has been a longtime listener of the podcast EDM Weekly, which just came to an end. And he did a live stream on his Instagram just talking about the show and it ending and how it's impacted his life. And then I hopped on his live stream and we had this impromptu conversation about the show and about electronic music and everything else. So enjoy this segment from the live stream. Go to @PhillyDad on the Run on Instagram for the full IGTV live stream portion of this video conversation. But enjoy.
Garrett.
Here we go. Hey, Brian.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Okay, there we go.
How's
Garrett,
it going?
dude,
Man, those are some incredible words, and
thanks,
just
dude.
so appreciative of that. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, it's stuff like that that kept it going for all those years, and it means a lot. I appreciate it.
yeah. Much love to you, my friend. When COVID's over, man, I mean, yeah, we'll find a way, whether that's like at a live event or something like that. But
I feel like a live event is the only way to do this right.
yes, yes,
Whether
indeed.
it's a live event that I'll hopefully be playing or just a local festival, yeah, I'm down for whatever. Because
Yeah,
I definitely think we need to do something like that because it just feels right. Especially
exactly.
just, I think you hit on all the things. It's like it's this long relationship of just electronic music and what it means
Yeah,
for you. And I think the things that it's helped you through, and it's definitely done that for me too. And I think that's where the love and passion stems from. It's just the feeling of it.
yeah. So, yeah. Hmm. So I know that you mentioned on your YouTube video about doing something like maybe just looking at EDM history, like with Nietzsche and I mean any other I don't want to put you on the spot, but any other
Yeah, that's
spoilers?
fine.
Yeah, but any other spoilers that you have as far as different types of projects that you have lined
Yeah,
up?
so I think now that obviously after 7 years, I'm kind of transitioning to something new and something different than just a weekly podcast. Because yeah, it was time consuming, and
Sure.
obviously there's some weeks where I just couldn't get the mix right, or there's also some weeks where I would do an entire episode and just throw it out, just because it's like
Oh,
it wasn't right. It didn't feel authentic. It just felt forced.
mm,
So I think with Eating Weekly and the weekly dance music content, I think stuff like exploring the sound of Tiesto, because I know you're listening to dance music goes back to the early 90s and he's changed a lot since the 90s. So I'd
yeah.
love to just dive into the history of like
Mm,
his sound and influence. And I think
sure.
anyone that goes to Vegas will know who Tiesto is just because he's plastered over like
Oh
the
yeah.
billboards of MGM and all these
Right.
types of big casinos. So he's kind of become this European influence into
Mm,
American dance music culture.
definitely.
I'd love to do a story about the story of the life of Avicii. I think
Mm, yeah.
I think any electronic music fan really hit them hard when he passed and
Mm,
just the circumstances and everything that he battled. But I think as a fan, you'd never really know. And just based on the genre of music that he produced,
yeah.
I think it was just so shocking to see someone with so much talent,
Mm,
potential, and
yeah.
just this production that I do think will have this historical impact that future generations will just judge and think, yeah, that's remarkable of what he came up with.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Definitely.
know what this era of dance music or electronic music will be kind of compared to. I know watching interviews with Armin van Buuren, he kind of sees it as this what people saw classical music as this as these producers that just have these imaginations and this ear for sound that just is unlike
Yeah.
no other, and they just have so much emotion and feeling to it. So I'd
Mm,
love to explore that, talk about
yeah.
more events and just where the industry is going, especially with the pandemic. And uh,
Yeah.
I know I know my show's probably a casualty because of the pandemic and
Yeah,
copyright stuff and everything like I went into my
sure.
YouTube video on. So I fully understand that. So it's just kind of looking for a new opportunity to kind of go deeper into stuff that I wasn't able to get into on the show because the show was very much a 30-minute DJ mix every week of just music that I like and curated and just put it out there. And
Sure.
that's what I love and I still will be doing
Yeah,
mixes when I
good.
can. It's just like I'd love to explore it more from just because I think fans of electronic music will know that there's so much substance to it, but
Hmm.
it's just getting into stories about it and hopefully just bring back that aspect of it. It's so different than just this music that you'll go to a club and listen to, and there's a lot more substance than I think just mainstream would like to think,
Yeah,
other than just the kick, the kicks.
that's a good way of putting it. Uh, but oi,
Yeah, and I think to just address like, yeah, it is shocking. Because I think even with their DMs and their conversations that we've talked about, from just everything that I've said, I didn't have, I had no idea that this was coming. Like, obviously, this wasn't really on my terms, and I think I addressed this at
sure,
the top of the show for the final episode. It's like I'm still as shocked as anybody. I
sure.
think like I tried my best to kind of keep it going and keep it alive, but there's
It's
just so
sustainable.
much I couldn't do,
Yeah,
especially when I'm effectively silenced with copyright
yeah,
restrictions and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I think it's not necessarily on my own terms that the show must go away, but I think it's just like you said, it's just the opportunity to kind of use this as a jumping point and
right. That's a
move
pivot.
on to something that's going to be bigger and better. And I think in the meantime, it's going to be hard to kind of understand what that is and what that looks like,
Hmm.
just because of the love for the podcast and the show. But
Hmm.
I truly will do my best to bring back the show in some capacity. Now, I didn't have a chance to say this in the YouTube video, but uh, if I was given the opportunity to take someone else's show or take on another project like this, 100%, it happens tomorrow. There's no way, just
Yeah,
because there's just so much passion for it, and over the last 6 7 years, it's just
and
it,
that's
it's
been
it
very evident from you.
yeah
Yeah, so
yeah
it just, yeah, it's, it's, I mean, it's difficult because, I mean, like, you've invested all that time and energy, and now it's just like, okay, uh, what now? And, oh, listen, my encouragement to you is just, again, see this as a pivot. Re- Take time to celebrate all that you've accomplished. Take time to realize the impact that you've had on your listeners and the love that you've the love that you've put in, the love that you've shown to your listeners through the production of your episodes, and just continue whatever it is. We've got your back, man. I mean,
thanks.
there's no other words to say besides that. But um, yeah,
Yeah, and I think because it happened so quickly, I haven't had the opportunity to really just take some time. And like you said, I will be probably taking a step back for the rest of the year and
good.
come back in
That's
the new
important.
year, just looking for something, whatever that next thing is, like you said. And just, yeah, because it's been a long road. And I think it's just all the time, it's time for a break. And I think with anything you love, it's always good to step away and realize how much it means and then come back at it again, and you'll
Yeah,
just be so much more prepared for what's next. And yeah, no, it, like I said, it's the timelines that I think it's happened so fast. So I
Yeah.
think it's still so fresh, but I think given time, with a few live streams here and there, I think it'll be a good rest of the year, when it
Yeah.
comes to new
Definitely.
content and new mixes and just
Yeah, but
yeah. So I think throwing together playlists in the meantime will be kind of the, I guess, replacement or substitute for the meantime. It's just like, okay, here's what I'm listening to. It might
or a
not be in the same
Patreon
format.
account or Twitch or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to all those things, and I think
Yeah.
for the next few months, I'll just look at all those options and
Yeah.
see what I can get up to. So, but yeah, I just appreciate all your support, and what you said up top is just, it means a lot, because I think
Yeah.
it's obviously a community that's based on a lot of support, for the audience and the producers and the people who make it happen. And I think that's really unique to this genre and the type of music. And
Yeah.
it's great to see that, over the last few years, we've been able to build a community that has been so supportive and so, just based on positivity.
Yeah. Definitely. Um, well, that said, um, yeah. So I hope that you do enjoy your time off, um, and I'm sure that it's a nice break to be able to recharge a little bit. But um, no pun, but not to quote a certain politician, but you'll come back and you'll build back better.
Yeah, for sure. And
So,
that's my way forward. Yeah.
yep. So when that time comes to build back better, I'll be ready to cheer you on. And any way how I can help, I'm right here for you, man.
Awesome. Well, I'll be sure to keep in touch with you, Brian, over the next few months and
Yeah.
moving forward. And if you need any recommendations or anything in the meantime, definitely hit me up, and we'll definitely fill
Actually,
the void if you have any.
actually, let me do that real quick. Do quick cheap plug, guys. If you have any EDM recommendations, hit my man Garrett Gaudet down below. Follow him at Garrett Gaudet on Instagram and on subscribe to his YouTube channel. Am I missing anything?
No, I think those are all the platforms
Okay.
that I'll put out new content on. So I think that covers it for the most part.
But yeah, please, guys, for those of you watching, pass it on. Subscribe to his YouTube, follow him on Instagram, shoot him some DMs, keep in touch with him, send him some love. And Garrett, again, my friend, I wish you the best. So,
Thanks,
with
Brian.
this
We'll do
certain,
this again. It was fun, and
yes.
we won't make this the last time for sure. But
So, as I usually like to end my live videos, I will pass this on to you and to everyone else watching. Make it a great one or not. That choice is yours.
all
So,
right, have a good night, everyone.
all right,
Thanks a lot,
cheers.
Brian.
Yep.
See you. Bye bye.
See you.